back to Wookies on X-Wing. My name is Matt.
I'm John.
And today we've got our second game of round 2 of our X-Wing Regionals, hosted by Gamezilla Fredericton.
So we have Rob versus Terry. Rob has 4 Bs and a Z. And what does Terry have?
Well, Terry, he's got almost as polar opposite as you can get. He's got Chiraneau with Predator, Ysanne Issard, a Rebel Captive, a Gunner, and an engine upgrade. And Soontir Fel with Push the Limit, the Royal Guard title, a Stealth Device, and Autothrusters.
Very interested to see how Predator will work on Chiraneau. I'm so used to seeing Expose on him. So having Predator on there might be a nice little change. Ysanne is really nice and tricky. The engine upgrade is really cool. I'm interested to see how Soontir is going to be thrown in here in the mix.
It's going to be Chiraneau is a fast dump truck.
Yeah. So here we have Chiraneau on the closest board side to us, where Soontir Fel is on the complete opposite side. Looks like he's going to try for a flanking maneuver. The 4 Bs and a Z look like they're just going to mosey up the flank.
Let's see if Terry's hammer and anvil pays off. Soontir does have to navigate basically all of the obstacles, but that can also provide him some nice cover coming in.
Well, Soontir has Autothrusters, which is really nice for the range 3 bargaining chip. But combine that with the stealth device, I prefer a little tankier just because there's a lot of ways of screwing that up, on top of which, you know, well, this sheer amount of defense dice is really good. And the fact that Soontir can just get a lot of focus, which mitigates the Autothruster's main weakness, you get a really solid hit there, or you roll really badly, and that Autothrusters or that stealth device is just gone. So I personally prefer one of the more tankier upgrades when I'm decking out Soontir, but I want to see how it works for him.
It should be interesting. But I'm really excited because this is 2 weeks in a row we see Rebel Swarms. So this should be really neat.
Yeah, there's been a big craze on the 4 Bs and the Z. I've heard a lot of buzz about it, and that's not just because Buzz has both B and Z in the name, but on top of that, it's neat. It has a lot of durability. B-Wings make great jousters. Z-95 it makes a really nice blocker when it needs to. A lot of attack dice. You don't have a lot of defense dice, and you don't have a lot of maneuverability, but you're just so tanky that you can absorb a lot of firepower, and you can just dish out a lot of firepower too.
Yeah, you've got 4 ships with 3 attack dice each. That is not insignificant.
And that's the interesting, for me, that's really interesting why Chiraneau is kind of going against these guys alone. I don't know if he's going to kite over to Soontir and just try to keep them at range 3 and use his superior firing power and dice modification compared to the attack power of the Bs and the Zs. They have very low action economy.
Yeah, it's I'm definitely curious because Soontir is sitting way up on that top board edge. And interceptors are fast. It's still going to take him a couple turns to get back in.
Yeah, push the limit will help with that. Like he can do 5 forward, then a boost, then barrel roll, but that's a whole turn not doing anything.
Still going to be a little bit to re-engage, but we'll see. Terry, he has a plan. We'll see how it unfolds. Rob definitely has a plan here. Nice little fly in a blob.
Well, I think his plan is engage the Decimator as quickly as possible and annihilate it.
Yeah, at this point, he has the opportunity to take advantage of Terry's split placement, but as we can see here, the engine upgrade on Chiraneau, he is very quickly opening a gap between Rob's fleet and the Decimator.
Yeah. So it looks like there's a bit of kiting action going on here. Now Rob's going to have to decide how he's going to do that. A lot of Swarm players have hard time with some of the turn maneuvers, depending on how. Like we had an amazing game last week with how the Swarm player was able to keep with the turns and move them in formation. Not a lot of players have that mental fortitude or have the practice to be able to do that. I want to see if Rob can pull that off.
Yeah, it's definitely, he does not want to lose actions. He just doesn't have any way of getting extra ones, and, you know, he doesn't have the defensive durability, so what actions he can get is just more firepower, just burn Terry's ships down as quickly as he can.
I think the best thing that Terry could ask for is use Soontir as obviously a side flank, an arc dodger as is designed, but force Rob to break his formation up into 2 smaller groups and then pick them off. And with that, the Decimator will be able to survive late game with Ysanne triggering that kind of thing once it has only a couple ships to have to deal with.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely, as much as you don't want to break up your firepower, you don't want to let Soontir boom and zoom on you. That's a good way to lose a lot of ships really quickly.
Yeah. On top of that, Chiraneau has the rebel captive, which means if there's only 1 or 2 ships, that would be like the rebel equivalent of having, R2D2 C3PO on the rebel title. Not as good, obviously, but stressing out your opponent so they don't have actions or they have to do green maneuvers makes them predictable. Ysanne triggering gives you an evade token. It's all gravy.
And there's the gunner on there, so Chiraneau's got some very nice built-in dice modification. I'm not sure if Predator and a gunner is overkill, but, maybe there's no such thing as overkill in Terry's mind.
That is true. I would have probably preferred going with Expose, just because 4 attack dice with a gunner is a really, really powerful thing.
Yeah, it definitely helps try to mitigate your, those bad turns where you don't roll any hits or you roll 1.
And then you can also have the target lock on there if you really want to.
Yeah. I'm a fan of gunner. It's expensive crewman, but you know what?
It pulls its weight. It's one of those things one of those upgrades that have always been useful. And even now, we're wave 6?
Very shortly
into wave 7, and gunner is still being used. Any ship that has a crew slot, with the exception of maybe the shuttle, can make good use of the gunner.
For sure. So it's interesting. See what Soontir is doing, but it looks like Terry may be able to have his ships rejoin and be able to concentrate their firepower very shortly here. He's just got to be careful, though. He's got himself right onto a collision course with that asteroid.
Well, he still has an option to boost, so I think that's what he's trying to figure out, if he's within firing range or not. Yeah. I don't think he's within firing range.
No, and he should still be able to turn around that asteroid next turn. It's going to be close, but he should be able to do it.
The problem with that is, you go too slow, they'll catch up.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a bit of a dancing game right now. So here we go. Continuing with Soontir. Got that, he's got the flanker bug going with him.
I really like seeing Interceptors and TIE Fighters fulfilling this role. Like, Backstabber is a personal favorite of mine to come up the flank, because a lot of squadron flyers, they don't know how to react to a flanker right away. Like, do they break off? Do they just go after the main objective? What's the worst going to happen if I let this flanker do the thing? Well, if he does the thing, he might wipe you out.
Yeah, it depends. If it's Backstabber, Soontir, any of those really scary character pilots, that puts you into a bit of a catch-22. What the heck do you do with him? If it's just a TIE fighter, he's going to be annoying. He'll pick away at you. It's not to be underestimated, but you can leave him for later if you have to.
And that's just another strategy to make your opponent make a mistake and get all Sun Tzu on him.
Fun thing, definitely one fun thing with the Empire you can do. A little harder with the Rebels, but Rob's fleet. Hey, you can use the Headhunter for exactly that purpose. Do you let this thing with, it has 2 attack dice, but it has target lock. Do you let that just be there and annoying in your flank and poke at you, or do you divert some resources to kill it? And if you do divert, well, hey, you got 4 angry B-wings staring at you.
Yeah, the Headhunter makes a great. I know I mentioned this earlier, but I want to reiterate on that. The Headhunter makes a great blocker. It's not as good of a dial as the X-wing. The X-wing has a fairly solid dial, but not as good as a TIE fighter or an A-wing by any means, but the Headhunter has definitely a better maneuverability dial than the B-wing, with the exception of obviously like a 2K turn. Using that to your advantage, using it to block or really get the edge on is really solid tactic.
Yeah, for sure.
If that Headhunter can fly ahead of the Decimator and just sort of force it to go slower or force which maneuvers it has, yeah, you're losing 2 attack dice, but all of your Headhunters are maximizing on that.
Yeah, all your B-wings can capitalize that Decimator's losing actions. So here we go. We got Rob. Looks like he's setting up a speculative kill box for Soontir. Looks like may have 1 Headhunter and 1 B-wing go and harass Chiraneau.
So I'm very interested to see what Terry's going to do with Soontir, because if he does like a very lazy maneuver, he would be in the optimal position. He'll get his range 3.
Yeah, you've got
Autothruster ability.
That skirmishing going on.
Yeah, and 3 attack dice versus 2 defense dice. That's pretty good odds.
Yeah. 3 attack dice versus 5 defense dice and an autothruster. Yeah, I'll take that. All right. Looks like he has decided to push hard, potentially setting up for a nice hard burn forward next turn. Get in around the side or behind those B-wings.
Now, I'm very interested to see what's going on with Chiraneau, because he's kiting away, but he's not staying in that range 3 arc.
Yeah. He is kiting, but he's also almost just running.
Yeah.
Maybe going a little too fast.
So this is a really nice move here. Barrel rolling right in between those asteroids. And now he's going to boost forward.
They're deciding.
We're deciding whether he's going to boost forward.
Makes sense. I mean, you get your focus, you get a nice fire arc.
You're out of the firing arc of your enemies for the most part.
It's like he might. Well, he'll have at least 1 B-wing.
But through an obstacle.
Yeah, maybe the other one.
In range 3.
Yeah, it's 3 versus 3. Soontir shooting the B-wing. That's not bad.
Stealth device on Soontir as well. He's going to be almost impossible to pin down.
Oh, looks like he did manage to get into range 2 of one of the B-wings who cannot shoot him. He's going to have a go at him. 1 potential, and it sticks. So there we have it. First damage of the game.
Not used to being so late into the game where having the first damage being dealt, but it's very interesting to see how technical this game has been played.
Well, it does make sense given, Terry, because Rob does have the numerical superiority over Terry. Terry is going to have to play fairly cagey, pick his fights on his terms, go after the targets that he wants, not let Rob catch him in a crossfire.
As long as Terry can dictate the battle, Terry has a good shot of winning.
And there we go. 6 defense dice. That's ridiculous. Soontir Fel, he don't care.
Yeah.
You're not hitting him.
Not like that.
I am a little worried about Chiraneau, though, because that is a lot of the list that is just... I mean, yeah, it was distracting Rob earlier, but it's just not getting used right now.
Well, hopefully Terry can maximize on Rob's focus attention on Soontir right now and bring Chiraneau into the fold and start picking out these B-wings.
That would be ideal. Get some drive-bys going on with the Decimator. With glorious turret action.
I think Rob still wants to keep his options open just because he knows how difficult Soontir is to pin down. Push the limit on an Interceptor can just get to ridiculous amount of maneuverability.
Yeah, you can end up in some really impressive spots.
And for the most part, when you fire at a Decimator, that's 0 defense dice. Any hit you get is pretty much sticking unless you're at range 3.
Yeah. It looks still he's maneuvering at least to possibly set up a kill box for Chiraneau. We'll see what the back to B-Wings are going to do. If he's going to try to keep his options open for Soontir, or just say to heck with him. He can do his thing. I want to kill the big guy. Looks like he may be deciding to do that.
Well, hopefully, if all the B-Wings are going after Chiraneau, then Fel hopefully will have some gravy time.
Fel's he's definitely got some breathing room right now. Terry's going to have to be careful not to get Chiraneau in front of all of those B-Wings, because he will evaporate fairly quickly at that point.
Yeah, but at the same time, Chiraneau does have the engine upgrade.
Yeah, he's so much maneuverability. Yeah. Engine upgrades on those big ships is just ridiculous.
So he's in a kind of a nice spot right now.
Yep, he's got a debris cloud between him and his enemies. If he wants to use it, just sit there, do some long range shots.
But you got to plan for next turn too.
Yeah. Because next turn, those B-Wings are going to be in a lot nicer position.
So he's moving forward with a nice boost action, and that gives him some maneuverability next turn to see if he wants to cruise through those, just needle through those asteroids.
Yeah, he can either continue down the map, or he can just clear the debris cloud.
I was not expecting this from Soontir. I thought he was going to go really fast forward and then do a booster barrel roll to rip around.
It may have been a misplaced turn. Terry may have just selected the wrong turn maneuver.
Well, I don't think he would have gone through the asteroid.
No.
Or through the obstacle, I should say. Debris field. That's the technical name for it. Debris field. Yes.
Yeah. Instinct says that was an unfortunate oops. Can't really see why Soontir would break off. But Terry, using an Interceptor, he can use his maneuverability to get back in the fight.
Yeah.
But, so here we go. We got Chiraneau sitting at range 3.
Of only one of them. So this is perfect for Terry.
Now, that's a lot of focus. There's Predator coming out. Nice hits there.
Getting a nice squishy B-wing. Not so squishy B-wing, but plink those shields off.
Yeah. Just try to do as much damage as you can. And the Decimator has a defense dice now, which is somewhat impressive.
Crazy, I know.
Nice still gets hit. But that's a Decimator.
I don't think he was trying to do evasive maneuvers. I think he was just putting the pedal on the metal.
Yeah. Can you lead me enough? No? Excellent. Oh, there we go. Shields are gone. First point of damage onto the Decimator. So next turn, Ysanne will start triggering unless Chiraneau is stressed. Got some measuring going on here. See if it's through that, closest is through that debris cloud. Likely not. It looks like he may clear the front of it. But Rob is starting to be able to bring his guns to bear now.
A nice focus spent for 3 attacks, which go through.
Sometimes that's not what you want to see, but when you're focused, that's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, no kidding.
So here we go. The B-Wings are starting to show their worth. They bring in all those attack dice to bear, putting some nice damage into Chiraneau.
Well, Terry had a really good opportunity to target lock where he needed to target lock, and then all he had to do was focus, because he didn't really need to barrel roll for the most part. So now, because we're in midfield, Chiraneau doesn't have a lot of places where he could go. He could veer back towards the far board edge, which might be a neat, interesting idea. Especially since Chiraneau has an engine upgrade, he can, you know, keep the boost. I'm thinking that Terry might fall into the kill box though.
Yeah, that would not be ideal. He does have his Ysanne, which will help. He does have his Rebel Captive, which is gonna just start stressing out these B-Wings. It will make them a little predictable, but at this point, Rob is gonna want to do some fairly short-range maneuvers.
Yeah. Well, he got some. He has a Rebel Captive trigger already, and he's just doing green maneuvers, I believe.
Yeah. And that looks like that B-Wing had a target lock already, so he bumps. I mean, he's losing out on focus, but he has a target lock, he's good.
Yeah, Rob is really nicely set up right now.
Yeah, the fleet is getting into a nice position where they can start jumping on targets. And them all being the same pilot skill. And that definitely helps for him just to be able to move them in whatever order he wants.
Well, that's a real strength of this list, is that he can pick and choose where he wants to go. So if he wants to say, I really want my headhunter to have an action or move into a particular spot, or even Congo line it so that the headhunter might bump, but the rest of the bees, yes, they bump into the back of each other, but they still have opportunity to fire at whoever they want to fire at.
Yeah, for sure. So Chiraneau is gonna start getting a little close to the board edge, but it looks like he has opted to swing himself out and around.
So here is the engine upgrade getting its use.
Very close, almost off the board. But I mean, nice thing with the boost is, oh, you would end up off the board? Can't do it. Okay. He is definitely playing it a little risky putting Chiraneau that close. So.
Yeah.
And the glories that are one-turn maneuvers. Such a nice maneuver to have.
It is a beautiful thing. That's why I like the Imperial ships. Most of them have that one hard maneuver. The TIE Fighter, the TIE Interceptor.
Yeah. So here we go. We got the maneuverability of the Interceptor being demonstrated. Just getting around to re-engage Rob's fleet, start putting the herd out. And Soontir has opted to double focus here. Nice counter battery protection. Just determining some fire arcs. And here we go. Let's see what Soontir can do.
A very popular upgrade that I've seen on Soontir is a targeting computer, and that is mostly because Soontir has the action economy to use it.
Yeah, especially with push to the limit. So alright, I'm going to push the target lock, and I get my focus anyway. Alright.
Doesn't look like Terry's shots were super effective.
Plinking some shields off, but he does need to do a little more than just whittle away, just because there is so much health in Rob's fleet right now.
Here's some Predator trigger.
So a couple potential points there.
Yeah, it was really close to being nothing.
Got some more damage going out though, so.
And it's really neat to see that these B-Wings are so durable. You just have to keep in mind which one's which and just focus down the ones that have been damaged. As soon as you eliminate the actions of the list and the just sheer number of attacks that are coming out, the better off you'll be.
Yeah, so here's Rob's answer to Terry. That's a Decimator getting 2 defense dice, which is impressive.
I always love it when I see a big ship like that. It has 0 defense dice, just I'm gonna roll a bunch of defense dice. Eat a dick.
And for all of that, well, the 2 beamings that shot, Chiraneau didn't take any damage.
That's exactly where Terry wants to be. Rob, when it comes to swarms and stuff like that, swarmless particularly, you don't care if you lose 1 or 2 B-Wings, or TIE Fighters, or whatever your swarms consist of. But you do care if you lose a big ship like
You
a
care if you
Decimator.
lose half your list. Yeah, exactly.
The barrel roll is real. B-Wings are so nice for that.
Yeah, they are not maneuverable over long range, but they do have very impressive short range capabilities. Especially that 2K turn, that catches a lot of people off guard. Just look at Rob's determining his maneuver order here. Try to maximize his efficiency.
I always love seeing a 2K turn on a B-Wing. It's such a brutal thing.
It's shocking. It's impressive, for sure.
It's almost like the white K turn on a defender.
Yeah, well, just try to physically imagine, what this thing is doing to get itself flipped around in that short a space. It's somewhat mind-boggling. Here we go. Rob is being pretty daring, just dancing around that asteroid. It looks like that ship is gonna stay stressed though, so he is going to be flying through that asteroid next turn. It's a tad bit unfortunate, but he does have the health to just accept the inevitable, and just bomb it through it.
Asteroids away!
So here we go. I like this. Should be able to engage Soontir with at least 1 ship. Nice little fire zone there.
But do you really want to engage Soontir with just 1 ship?
Not really, but if that ship wouldn't have another target, especially that back B-wing, is likely going to be out of range of Chiraneau anyway.
Yeah.
Keep the guns in the game. It's a good idea. And a B-wing kind of can go one-on-one with a TIE fighter or a TIE interceptor.
It can. The fact that as much as I was griping about stealth device earlier, the fact that Soontir has a stealth device on there and Autothrusters makes him just such a nasty opponent.
He's going to be hard to hit for the first little bit. So now Terry's going to have to be careful. He's still in a couple fire arcs right now.
What he could do here is a nice barrel roll towards and then boost. I don't think he's going to do that. He would have only been in the fire arc of 1 of the B-Wings, and that would have given him a lot of maneuverability to get himself turned around. This way, he doesn't get any targets.
No, because he's not going to be able to... Likely not going to be able to boost. I don't think he'll clear that debris cloud.
Yeah, so I probably would have been a little bit more ballsy and got myself into the attack range of just 1 of the B-Wings. But
your mileage may vary.
Yeah.
So he's gonna get his focus, get that debris cloud between him and the B-wing that can shoot him. Get set up to swing around next turn and re-engage.
I'm also of the mindset that every turn that you're not shooting with a 2-ship list is really a turn that is wasted.
It can be pretty brutal when you lose out on those attack dice.
I mean, for the most part, it wouldn't matter, but you have an hour time limit. You have to deal with the fact that you are either going for time or you're going to try to wipe out their list. If you don't fire, it's a really hard time to wipe out their list, right?
Yeah.
But the same token, if you survive, your list might survive to the next round.
So we just saw something fairly impressive here. That was Chiraneau shooting at a range 3 B-wing through an asteroid and missed. Triggered gunner and still missed.
Oh. Brutal.
Yes. Little unfortunate. So here's Ysanne, keeps a point off at least. That's crit.
Chiraneau's not looking too good. And that's the trouble with that big ship, is that you start piling on those crits and you really hamper its effectiveness.
Yeah, with 12 hull, it does leave you a lot of room to cripple it.
A turn where you get a stress, or a turn where you don't get to fire.
Yeah, that would be crippling for Terry at this point.
Or even all hard maneuvers are red maneuvers. He's been using a lot of hard turns just because of where he's had to go on the board. He has to do a hard turn, and now he doesn't get access to his engine upgrade. That would really put him dead in the water, literally.
Yeah, it'll really slow Chiraneau down. But no, it's Rob. He's got some nice fire. He's starting to bring a lot of his firepower to bear here, which is what he wants.
And unfortunately, Chiraneau, despite the fact that he's rolling 2 defense dice, for the most part is dodging like a potato.
And there's that crit. It looks like suffers a stress. That was another crit. That was that one. So here's into Soontir. Gonna be range 3 through an asteroid.
With auto-thruster trigger.
Yeah, it's well, debris cloud, but
Yeah.
and he's okay. Soontir doesn't care.
I guess my biggest fear for Terry is that if Chiraneau goes down, Soontir's all by himself, and it's very easy to kill box him when you have 1 lone fighter versus 5 rebel ships.
Especially when 4 of them are B-Wings.
And it's great to dogfight, but B-Wings just rock at jousting.
Rob is just keeping right on Chiraneau's tail here.
Well, Rob knows that he can't. Well, he'll be able to engine upgrade, or use his engine upgrade if he does a green maneuver. But I believe the Decimator doesn't have a lot of good green maneuvers.
They're banks.
Yeah.
Some forwards and some banks. He's gonna have a hard time. I don't think he'll be able to clear the stress this turn and stay on the board. Or if he does stay on the board, he's off next turn. It's gonna be an interesting one for sure, though. Rob's definitely setting himself up into a nice spot here. Flies through an asteroid. You know, that sucks.
Yeah.
But that's, it's a B-Wing. It's got the shields for it.
Loses a shield.
It's gonna fly through an asteroid next turn. Doesn't care. This guy's crazy.
Yeah.
He's got it.
Well, he's tanking the asteroids.
Yeah.
If he just destroys them with his deflector shields, then the rest of the fleet doesn't have to worry about it. Only it worked like that.
Yes. We're not playing epic play. Yeah, Chiraneau's gonna have a lot of hate coming on him very shortly here.
Soontir, gotta pull your own weight, buddy.
I don't know. I'd almost just go after that headhunter because I'm feeling kind of vindictive, but
Yeah.
F you, buddy. I'm gonna kill you.
Well, the problem is that the B-Wings that have taken the most damage are right near the front. And unless Soontir does some K-turns, which is something that he doesn't really want to do, then, I mean, he'll get a focus if he does a K-turn, because he's Soontir. But unless he does a K-turn, he's not getting engaged with those two B-Wings. He's not getting the damage on those 2 fighters.
And he can't K-turn right now because he's been pushing every turn.
That is true as well, yes. You can't K-turn with a stress on you. Unless your name's... No, you can't.
Even Tycho can't do it. Dude's a intense pilot, but he's not that intense.
Yeah.
And here we are. Got that too hard maneuver. Rather unfortunate.
He's in the fire arc of all of those rebel ships.
Yeah, it looks like he is. Chiraneau is probably Well, he's going to be hurting after this round. I would be surprised if he wasn't dead.
Yeah. I think Terry not pursuing with the Interceptor, him breaking off like that, if that was a mistake or if it was a mistake, irregardless, it was a mistake.
Yeah. And the unfortunate thing with that crit giving Chiraneau stress is you can't proc Ysanne with it, because that's still performing a free evade action. It's not assigned an evade token.
But it is at the start of the combat phase. So if he was able to shed that stress, which he wasn't, then yeah, that would be true. But no, he didn't do a green maneuver, so Chiraneau is really in a bad spot this turn.
Yeah. I believe that is what we call XP Pinata.
Hopefully, Chiraneau might be able to do the death blow on one of these things.
They all still look quite healthy, though. He hasn't really been able to focus down one particular ship with any reliability. It looks like Soontir has his target. He's got the one he's going after.
Get some fancy laser technology in here. You can find it at your local hardware store.
Yep. Yeah, laser. You know, it can be impressive, the amount of kit that you can amass playing a game, but a laser level, any laser line, definitely a good thing to have. Just remove that player parallax error. Just take it out of the picture completely.
Yeah.
And there we go. That's three points of damage onto the B-wing. You know, nice rolls there. But shields take it. He's all right with it.
Yeah. The problem right now that Terry's going to run into is if he loses Chiraneau, he has to kill a lot of B-wings in order to make up that difference in points.
He's going to have to kill, what, 3 of them?
Something like that. And I don't think there's enough time in the game for him to do that. There was way too much finesse and posturing early in the game, and now he doesn't have the advantage.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still doing damage. There's 2 hits there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Rob has to get the old damage deck out. That's what the laser level was for earlier. He's trying to get that B-wing that didn't have shields, so if you could focus him down. And it looks like he is down to 1 health on that B-wing.
Oh, brutal.
So sounds like our D&D games. He's left at 1.
Story of my life.
But here's just 4 damage right straight through into Chiraneau. Unmitigatable. That's rough. Rebel captive triggers, but it's almost too little too late now.
Yeah.
He has. Yeah, that's so any hits that Rob rolls right now for most of these ships it's gonna go through.
Absolutely. And that's the real strength of a swarm like this against a Decimator. Even if this was like 8 TIE fighters, that's 8 times 2 attack dice. When you have defense dice, it doesn't really mean that much. But when you don't have defense dice, it means a whole lot more.
Yeah, a Decimator and a Falcon will play quite differently. And that's it.
Goodbye, Chiraneau. We hardly knew you.
Chiraneau goes down.
It's all Soontir now.
Soontir is love. Soontir is life.
I believe in the goatee.
Let's see if the Baron, if he's going to be the Red Baron.
More like the
well, hopefully not. He did get shot down,
yeah,
so
the red.
That may not be the best role model.
I mean, Soontir does get shot down a couple of times, but he always gets back up.
So he's like a Marvel character then, right? Never stays dead.
Well, he does have the same. Like I said, he does have the goatee of awesome.
Yeah, that's fair. So now this is going to be interesting.
Who do you think inspired Biggs?
So this B-Wing
Has one?
has 1 health. And that looks like he rolled a focus.
Okay. I thought that was a crit for a second.
Yeah.
I was like, really? That would have been hilarious.
He's probably brown trousers time right now, but he's okay.
Yeah.
Yep, comes through the asteroid.
Well, I think Soontir knows which target he's going to go after.
Now, this is smart.
Blocking.
Yep, Rob knows he's not going to get a shot with him, so let's just gum up these lanes. Try to keep his 1 health B-Wing alive. Prevent Soontir from getting a shot at him.
Yeah. Because...
And here we go. The nice thing about the Headhunter is that 3K turn. You couldn't do that with an X-Wing. But he's got some nice blocking going on. He's got a potential shot. It's unlikely to hit, but it's still dice, so...
Ooh.
Intriguing.
Not the maneuver I thought he was going to go for.
I foresee a barrel roll and boost attempt.
Yeah, he could do it in such a way that would get him access to that B-Wing, but I don't know if he sees it.
So here we go. This is definitely some gummed up fire lanes, though. Gummed up maneuvers.
I don't think he saw it.
So he is getting... He'll definitely be getting shot by that Headhunter.
Yeah.
And he will be getting shot by the other B-Wing. And it looks like he has just managed to clear the asteroid, which is rather unfortunate. And there it is. That's the stealth device gone.
By a Headhunter with no actions.
And Soontir is down to 1. And it looks like Terry just does the gentlemanly thing and concedes the game there.
Alright, well thank you for watching this episode. If you enjoyed, be sure to like. If you haven't subscribed already, what's wrong with you? Hit subscribe. We have War Machine videos and X-Wing videos. I'm going to be putting up a blog post on northerngamingnetwork.com if you want to read it up. That will be my experience playing Rebels in the one of our events. If you want to follow us at NorthGameNet on Twitter, we have Instagram, also at NorthGameNet, and Facebook, Northern Gaming Network.
Well, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. We've got round 3 coming up shortly.